What's up guys, today's video is on the top 5 best Mido watches through extensive research and testing. I've put together a list of options that'll meet the needs of different types of buyers. So whether it's price, performance, or its particular use, we've got you covered. For more information on the products, I've included links in the description box down below which are updated for the best prices. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. Number 5. Mido Multifort GMT M005.929.11.051. I previously featured a Mido model in my piece about super compressor watches. It was the similar looking 2 crowns. It's a style that I really admire, based on a popular design from the 1950s to 1970s. The concept is simple, but the result can be stunning. The bezel is moved from the outer case of the watch to the inside. This inner bezel, housed under the glass, can be rotated by turning a second crown. In the case of this Mido watch, it's the 4th hand that uses this second crown. Either way, the double crown look is interesting. This is one of the more sporty designs that I've featured. It looks like it has been created as a tool rather than as a fashion accessory. The 2 crowns give the impression that the watch is used for more than just telling the current time, but the black dial and bracelet suggest simplicity of purpose. There's a bit of color on the dial and GMT hand. It feels like a concession to the original super compressor designs, which were often colorful, and it does enhance the watch. Once again, the Swiss automatic movement is visible through the case back, and the bracelet is a nice 2-tone style. At 42mm, it's a comfortable size. And there are the obligatory sapphire crystal and 100 m of water resistance. Number 4. Mido Multifort Gent M005.430.11.051.00. Another Multifort watch from the collection inspired by the architecture of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. More substantial than the Baroncelli, and with the hint of a military watch design, this is a favorite of mine. At 42mm, this is the largest watch I've highlighted so far, although it is only 11mm thick. It's less dressy than the last model, but I wouldn't really class it as sporty either. It looks more functional, with a basic tool watch vibe. As you've already guessed, it has Mido's 80 hours power reserve movement, a sapphire crystal, and some basic water resistance. But what strikes you first is the dial. It is textured, with vertical lines and plain indices. There's a number of variations of this model, with different colored dials and a choice of straps and bracelets, but this cream dial and leather strap version works best for me. The overall appearance is reminiscent of fellow Swatch Group brand Hamilton, and I see this watch competing for the same customers. Number 3. Mido Baroncelli Heritage 3 M0274071101000. Inspired by the classical architecture of the Baroncelli Chapel, this line has also been a long-running Mido collection. In 2006, on the 30th anniversary of the launch of Baroncelli range, Mido released a new collection. These models took their design cues from string instruments. The Heritage Collection was released a decade later for the 40th anniversary and features both gents and ladies models. Where the Ocean Star was trimmed down to 40mm, the Baroncelli is smaller still, coming in at 39mm. What is more, it's a very slim 7mm. Therefore, the aim of the watch is a pared-down elegance. The classic dress watch with a slender profile. Normally, I'm attracted to slightly beefier smart casual dress watches, but this model still grabbed my attention. At the risk of overdoing the theme, it's another vintage-inspired model. This time the coloring, silver dial with a blue second hand, reminds me of JLC's Master Control, albeit a slightly lean version. It's a nice contrast to the Ocean Star and an alternative to some of the brand's more complex designs. Once again, the movement is visible through the case back, and again it's powered by a Mido movement. However, it's the slightly different caliber 1192, still a Swiss-made ETA base. Number 2. Mido Ocean Star Tribute M0268301104100. The first Mido Ocean Star was launched at the tail end of the 1950s. The big innovation was the development of a single-piece case, although the watch did also include Mido's Aquadura crown system. This used cork to help seal the watch and had been used by the brand since the 1930s. This tribute model was released in 2020 to celebrate the Ocean Star and its role in the Mido stable, rather than being a remake of a specific model. As another vintage-inspired piece, the case is on the smaller side. It's 40.5mm, where the standard Ocean Star is currently 44mm. I like that, just a little bit more authentic. The bezel and case are slightly different from the standard model too, with the full case being highly polished, so be careful about scratches. For me, the dial really makes this watch. The vibrant blue of the bezel and dial gives the watch a distinctive character, and orange is the ideal complementary color for the second hand. The markers on both the dial and bezel are rectangular, and the paddle-style hands stick to the same shape and color. Taken together, they present a design that manages to give a nod to the past while still obviously being a contemporary piece. Once again, this watch is powered by Mido's Caliber 80, making it reliable and Swiss-made. Number 1. Mido Multifort Patrimony M004040716060000. The Multifort line is the cornerstone of the Mido range, following its debut in the 1930s. This line was the company's bestseller through to the 1950s. As noted above, the Multifort was relaunched in 1998 as the brand once again put robust automatics as its first concern. The Patrimony isn't the most representative of the range, but it's a cracking watch. You'll know by now that I'm a big fan of vintage-inspired and heritage models, and this watch is a successful example. Of the 3 variations, the model with the anthracite dial is my preferred version. Before I mention anything regarding the technical specifications of the watch, I want you to take another look at the dial. I love it. The pulsometer scale isn't a feature I'd be likely to use, but it adds to the attractive design. Overall, the dial, with its shades of gray and subtle date window, is what first drew me to the watch. The syringe hands complement the dial, as do the neat indices and numerals. Most Mido watches occupy that awkward price point over £500 and less than £1,000. They're slightly higher priced than other Swatch Group entry-level brands like Tissot and Certina. The Patrimony is in that price range. What do you get for your money? The movement is the ETA-based Mido Caliber 80 mentioned earlier. So it's a good quality Swiss-made automatic, with a large power reserve. You can also see it through the exhibition back. That and the boxed sapphire crystal mean that the watch has decent specs. It's 40mm wide. While not the size a vintage watch would have been, it is more in keeping with modern tastes. The distressed leather strap rounds out the design well. Here are the top 5 best budget HDR TVs on the market today. Look for the links in the description box below if there's another product on the market or if you found one worth your purchase. Let us know in the comments section if you would like to see a future review. Also, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you'll know when we upload new videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on the PentaView channel.